Hi everyone, I'm outside of Hard Off Nagatsuta in Yokohama, and I'm going to give you a little tour of the junk section inside. I went through and I found a lot of interesting stuff, and I think we should stop for a moment and remember that junk here in Japan means something different. To you in the West, what is junk? It's like terrible, throw out, bad, garbage, these sort of things. Junk sort of here means not perfect, and not Japanese perfect. So like I was saying in my last video, sometimes stuff goes to junk when they've got too much of it in the main section. Sometimes it's got blemishes, sometimes it's got just small things that they can't fix themselves, or sometimes they can't even test it. If something's like really obscure and they don't know what to do and they sort of Google and then they just put in the junk maybe at a higher price or something like that. So there's a lot of treasure in there. And then I spoke to that Hard Off employee a few days ago. He used the word treasure. So we're gonna go treasure hunting just like Indiana Jones in the junk section. Let's do it.
Here we are in the Hard Off as we pan up to the junk. Now, if you see the camera just move around quickly, it's because I'm trying to avoid just filming a random Japanese person. I think the side effect of their very strict anti-upskirting laws is that I just shouldn't also take a picture of a random old guy in the back of a Hard Off. I got the wheels there. That's the Logitech. I got that wheel at home. That was dirty, though, but cheap if you wanted to clean it up. Now, already, I'm going to take a little break here because I forgot to film this, and this is one of the most amazing things I've seen. I love when I find randomly and weirdly modded stuff in the junk, and this is one of those. See, this is a standard Horiz stick from the era. They made PlayStation versions, there's a Saturn version, there's a Neo Geo, PC, I think that's all of them. But someone's modded this. That artwork is all custom. Horiz PS Stick 01. Someone's made their own model number for it. And what they've actually done is put a dual mod in it. Like you can see on the second screen, they've put a real Saturn PCB from a controller inside of that. And I guess you can choose which one you want. I love when random stuff like this turns up in the junk. And coming down here, we got one of those one-handed Capcom controllers. They're cool. They're the ones that I've got two of. This one, I don't think I bought this one. This is the third. There's a lot. There's a few of these around. They're very cool. They're two-handed. Sorry, they're not one-handed, but you can kind of get a different grip on them. That's the bongos and the wheel at the bottom there. There's nothing quite like just pulling out those blue bins. What's going to be there? There's always, every store has a broken Microsoft joystick in it. It's just flailing around like a limp dick somewhere in a blue bin. I mean, I really like those big buttons, some sort of Dance Dance kind of Kid Revolution thing. You like a multi-tap? Of course you don't, because you don't have any friends. You listen to my channel. We've got some Xbox 360 cables. I love cables. I'm always going through there looking for good quality cables. That's the D terminal, which is a popular standard in Japan. It's basically component. And this is one of my favorite parts of going through a junk. Just bins and bins of PlayStations. Look at that. They're just what shade of yellow would you like today? We've got yellow. We've got stickers all over it that some little Japanese kids put on there. I reckon a lot of those PSs might kind of work. I mean, if you wanted something for like an X station, it's perfect. But then again, if you're dropping $100 or more on an X station, you might want to get a non-yellowed one, possibly. Lots of stuff. It's just, and every store is like this. Every store has these exact things. But then we came over here. There was some cool VHS. I found Men in Black 2, Japanese VHS. I believe these are only subtitled. And GoldenEye VHS. That is dope. And it just looks cooler with all the Japanese writing on it. They had a nice VHS section here. Harry Potter. I don't know which Harry Potter. You tell. Is that the first one? The Prisoner of the Thing or the Phoenix or whatever, but it's a Harry Potter, and look cool, it's in a case. It's a big Famicom. This was only like 500 or something. Very, very cheap. You can see 500 yen, a couple of bucks if you want a yellowed Super Famicom. In the box, though, so this is the wild variation that you're getting in prices in these things. Condition matters a lot in the junk section. Power stick. Have you got a power stick? Oh, yeah. mountains of tapes. This is magnetic media, VHS-C, high 8. If you've got those, there is endless, I'm talking endless supplies of this shit. Betamax. If you have a Betamax player, you got to get yourself to Japan. There's endless amounts of Betamax tapes. Why not? It's Japan. Do a little karaoke. One is the loneliest number that you've ever... Yeah, it's... Well, they do like it. I've seen them. You like a salary guy? Look at that. It's an Apple keyboard. It's good. That was like that was $500. What is that? $3.50 or something. It was fine. It was fine. It was a little bit yellow. But what do you want? If you're a student, you wouldn't mind. If you're... I don't know. So I'm trying to not film those guys that are down there. This is the NEC PC monitor. So I am finding a lot of CRTs. I didn't used to find CRTs in the junk. That is on the side there. I think that's an analog RGB output. It's just a different DIN, but I'm pretty sure that monitor will take regular RGB. It's a pretty cool thing. I think it kind of worked. So what have we got there? 3,000? That's about $20 if you want a Mac case. And this, I think, is the PC that goes with that other monitor. So while the screen was only like $20, you're still going to pay about $100 for the actual case. Another just straight up old ass VGA monitor. That is $8 if you wanted to take that home with you with the BNC inputs on the back, the VGA. It says it works. It's just no one wants it. The Retro is the same in Japan as we are. The iMac, going pretty cheap. I would like one of those, but they're still going for a bit more in my country. And I told you I like cables. This is the weird stuff I like. This is a Sony branded S-Video cable. You know Sony aren't fucking around. That is going to be a shielded cable. And I wanted to show you this one as well. So this is a Horiz PlayStation S-Video cable. Did I buy this? I can't remember, but it's a serious cable. This is the place to come. You want to get a few like well-shielded cables. Now, see this here, this weird connector on the end. That's D-terminal, which was a standard in Japan. And basically, D-terminal is just component with a different plug. The 3 component cables in one scuzzy-looking VGA-looking plug. Really, really common here. And you can get a breakout cable that will just break it out to the 3 components, and it works like normal. Most of the time that when foreigners have seen that is when they're buying the GameCube component cables. You can get them in a D-terminal version. They're no cheaper. They're still well over $100. But it's something you can get. Yes. Discmans. Lots of stuff. So each of those, this is all the junk. So those little tags all have what's up with them or what testing's been done. I really like that gold thing. This Sony thing, stereo cassette recorder. How? It's all the hills. So you can hold your phone up there and the phone will do the auto translate for you if you use the Google app. You got a Fenrir, maybe you want the ODE. This is a great thing. Just get a shitty old Saturn with a broken disk drive, put a Fenrir in it, you're gonna have a good time. So yeah, it's not too hard to get around because you can just put your phone up to those labels and it'll do a halfway reasonable job of translating that. That's a Capcom arcade board just sitting in the junk. I didn't see what was up with that. But some of the stuff in the junk can still be pretty expensive. I want to show you this, just over $100, TFT Active Matrix. It's this chunky, portable, early LCD monitor. Imagine just sitting around that in the campfire. So that's the end of my junk tour. Thanks very much for watching me today. I just like the random shit that was in this store. I appreciate everyone, you liking, you subscribing. Everyone's blowing up on the Twitter. I really appreciate everyone who's sending good thoughts. I'm trying to tweet at every store I go to. Thanks very much. I'm Lewis from Zez Retro. See you next time.